Alright, so right here we're looking at this push. And from this push, I caught just 2 or 3 sells here just because I saw the rejection here. So when I saw that, pulled the fibs from the low point to the high point on the wicks and let it retrace. I got in premature over here a couple times, but it came down, came back up. We ended up profiting, and right now I think it's gonna keep pushing up. I wanted to pull out or play this whole move, but essentially this is all I do when I'm scalping is I'm looking for, this is the move, it's made its retrace, it broke back above this zone that it created, and now I'm looking for the full push up to here, which is a new high. Am I staying in the entire time? No, I'm just scalping, literally taking little bits of the profit, but it's all calculated in a sense. So I didn't get in, or technically I did get in over here. You can see that there, but I didn't sell anything up until it came back here. It's just ideally, you know, supply and demand wise, you want to wait until price breaks above this candle here. But we are having that push back down. I'm anticipating it to come into this range. It didn't on this candle, so I want to see it kind of touch that support and resistance before I get in again. Price isn't ever going to just go straight up. It's going to go ahead and make its pullbacks and flow the way that it really wants to. But realistically, that's all I kind of do, you know? It's like you see that you have this floor here and it pushed off that. So it's just you're flowing with that momentum as you see price making certain structures and then breaking certain ones. You know, you just react to it. Now, if price would have broke below this, I would have stopped looking for the buys here. I would have transitioned to, instead of actually looking for getting in or selling anything, I would have swapped it to having this as my supply zone and waiting to see what it does at that area instead. But let's see how it rejects this, if it does. And keep in mind, we can go for this whole stretch now too, you know, like this area here is just support and resistance, but this is really where that floor has been made again. So we can come all the way back down to here, and as long as we don't break this, we still have that mindset that things are going to push upward. It's forming nice rejections. You got to keep in mind though, this is the 1 minute time frame. Something that, we're back over here. We're pushing off these previous highs too. You know, it's not breaking past that, so we are liable to come straight down through all of this and come back into there. Let's get rid of these. Trading. No. Orders. Nope. It's one of these bitches. Bam. Alright, still maintaining that. Not breaking through it yet. But knowing what you know on the higher time frame, you do have all of this room to potentially come back down. So this could just be the lower high point along this. We got next candle. So you had a nice run of candles forming upwards. Right now, just based off previous experience and structure, I'm seeing a lot of red candles form, which kind of makes me feel like if I get in for buys, it's more kind of like it's more liable for this to push up and form just a set of gray candles now as well, because you have had so many red in a row already. It's like you have to have that give and push, you know? But definitely looking more to go down than buy. Just based off higher time frames exclusively. But that's where scalping is more of like, all right, cool, we are scalping, but you got to keep in mind of those higher time frames are at play. This does not seem to be as probable to make this whole push. The only thing that's on its side is just how strong of a push this was. But those higher time frames definitely, you know, we're in that downtrend for sure. Let's reset that and zoom in some more. But here you can see exactly why price is doing what it's doing. It's just when you come up to this, it may have more of a resistance here. But I don't know how long this video is. I figure that's a pretty clean breakdown in a sense of what I do. And you can see the scalping when you're really in tune. This is more back and forth that I was doing just literally throughout the day. But here is where I was really like, let me lock in and try to grow this account a little. When you are really in tune with it, and just like I say, you're probably gonna get that resistance there too. But when you're in tune with it, you can really, really benefit. It's just you have to be dialed in. You can't let anything like stray you away from your focus, because you're on such a small time frame that every single little second really does matter, you know. Or if you are just trying to go ahead and have like a high time frame setup, but you see that you're in the same concept, you know, like we had all of that erased and you were just looking for price to come back into the zone down here. If you go to the 1 minute, once price comes back down here on that smaller or on that higher time frame, and then once you're on the smaller time frames and you start zooming in, you can kind of see the structure start being recreated to push back up. And on the 1 minute, that's where you're just going to get a bomb ass entry. So that's where you can get something like from the 0 or down there all the way to the negative 23. You have your stops just a little below. Or hell, if you're doing it on 1 minute, it'd be really, really tight, but that's how you get those higher risk to rewards. Failing to break that, just like I said, it's more than likely going to keep going down now. But well, in this video, I just wanted you to see a little bit of the thought process when I'm getting into these.